Good evening and welcome to Sunset News on this Monday evening. As always, we bring you news, community stories, economics, weather, and sports. I am Glenora Shipura. Getting into the news tonight, a new day has dawned for Namibia and a day under the leadership of a woman. Namibia inaugurated their first female president on Friday in a ceremony held at the State House before many local and international guests. Several heads of state and former head of state, including the president of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa, were in attendance. President Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah said corruption should be treated as treason, as it has the power to frustrate citizens and overthrow governments. Nandi-Ndaitwah said this in her inauguration speech at State House in Windhoek on Friday. Corruption in all its manifestations should be avoided at all costs, she said, to a louder hand of applause. Let's have a look.
Our government is tasked to enhance food security in the country, improve the health of our people, deliver affordable housing, quality education, and create job opportunities for thousands of unemployed Namibians. Equally, we have to implement targeted intervention in the priority sectors of agriculture, mining, tourism, sports, creative industry, among others, to speed up the socio-economic development of our country. Namibia has a number of committed Namibians, qualified and ready to work. And for you now to choose from this is not easy. But I want to tell you and to assure you, the team that I have chosen, I have no doubt that we will deliver what you have mandated us to do as the people of this country. You must assist me to give this team a chance to do their work. What is important is not who is there for me, and it should not be who is there for you. For you, you should wait the service to be delivered. Then you start to talk. They say, don't judge the book on the cover. Read and understand.
That footage is courtesy of the National Broadcasting Corporation, NBC. Moving on, Rodney Hoxabeb was found guilty today in the Windhoek High Court of brutally killing his employer, Christoph Mungunda, 3 years ago. However, High Court Judge Philander Christian acquitted him of attempted murder after he was accused of trying to run over his co-worker, Jerry Shitani, on the same night. In her judgment, she explained that the state had failed to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Hoxabeb intended to kill Shitani. The matter has been postponed to Wednesday, the 26th of March for submissions before sentencing. In our next story, on Saturday, President Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah announced the members of her new cabinet, where she reduced Namibia's cabinet from 21 to 14 ministries. The vice president is Lucia Vedwe. The minister of the Ministry of Defense and Veterans Affairs is Franz Kapofi, and the deputy minister is Charles Mubita. Minister of Home Affairs, Immigration, Safety and Security, Honorable Lucia Ipumbu. The Minister of International Relations and Trade is Selma Ashipala Musuvi, and the Deputy Minister is Janeli Matundo. The Ministry of Finance and Social Grants Management is Erika Shafuda. The Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Water and Land Reform is Mac Albert Hengari, whereas the Deputy Minister is Ruth Masake. The Minister of the Ministry of Education, Innovation, Youth, Sports, Arts and Culture is Sanet Steenkamp, whereas the Deputy Minister is Dino Balotti. The Minister of the Ministry of Health and Social Service is Esperance Luvindao. The Minister of the Ministry of Industrialization, Mines and Energy is Natango Ithete, whereas the Deputy Minister is Gaudentia Kruon. The Minister of Environment and Tourism is Indeleni Daniel. The Minister of Information and Communication Technology is Emma Theophilis. The Minister of the Ministry of Gender Equality and Child Welfare is Emma Kantema, whereas Linda Bayoli is the Deputy Minister. Ministry of Works and Transport is Veiko Nekunti. The Minister of Urban and Rural Development is James Sankwasa, and the Deputy Minister is Evelyn Nawasis Tayele. The Minister of the Ministry of Justice and Labor Relations is Philemon Wise Emmanuel. That concludes our top stories. On the other side of this, we take a look at our story of the day. Getting into our story of the day, National Assembly Speaker Sarah Kukongwelwa Amadila earlier this morning encouraged incoming members of parliament to focus on the work they need to do and ignore personal differences they might have with each other and find other miscellaneous issues. Elizabeth Kabas gave in this report.
Commence with our parliamentary work to empower us with information that is required to aid us to effectively discharge our duties and responsibilities as members of the National Assembly. I'm pleased to see that the program of the workshop covers a wide range of important issues that are relevant to the administration of our mandate as a parliament, and also that are relevant to the operation of parliament as an institution. I wish to thank the stakeholders who are here to share their valuable insights through presentations, as well as our staff from the Parliamentary Secretariat. It is critical that all MPs take time to attend this workshop, and I am pleased by the outcome that I see, so that we all get the necessary information to help us to go about our work, which requires that we navigate through legal provisions, operational policies, and rules. The induction creates a platform for sharing information and developing a common understanding of the laws, policies, and procedures that govern Parliament in order to facilitate the conduct of parliamentary affairs and thus ensure effective implementation of our mandate. As different political parties or representatives of different political parties, we will of course differ. And as competitors, that competition will play out on the floor sometimes, but that should not become the order of the day. At the end of the day, we are collectively representatives of all Namibians, and their interests must take precedence over our political party's interests and whatever personal differences we may have as individuals.
The Deputy Mayor of Okahanja, Aksera Mupindi, has confirmed another pipe burst. We get into the story in our community talk shortly. The Deputy Mayor of Okahanja, Aksera Aupindi, has confirmed another pipe burst along the same line that initially burst last week, Thursday. Despite repairs being completed, the new pipe burst has delayed water restoration, which was expected. Mupindi stated that water might now be restored later in the weekend. In the meantime, 11 water trucks have been deployed to assist residents. The municipality is actively working to resolve the issue and restore supply as soon as possible. Getting into our next story, the body of a 5-year-old girl who was reported missing in the early morning hours of Thursday was discovered under a bridge in Federstal, Okahanja. Ingrid Marsdorp was last seen sometime last week at KW1 Mare Combined School. Mayor Beatrice Katungondo and Deputy Mayor Axel Aupindi, who visited the bereaved family, said this came as a shock to the community and they extend all support. Let's have a look.
Dear residents, we are moving on to the next assignment. We are not standing still. So right now we are at the scene, as you can see here, where the body of the young girl, the 5-year-old, was found from Kabye von Mare. So apparently they found the body inside those tunnels. They found her school bag and all the other socks and other things they found here at the mouth of this opening, and her body was found on that side. The police are actively on the scene trying to find now the shoes and everything else. I just spoke to the inspector. They are telling me, the chief detective, they are telling me now that they need to first do the post-mortem to be able to understand really what had happened. Myself and the deputy mayor are on the scene right now. We are going to move over to the family as well, just to try and console the family a little bit, that we are with them in their pain and sorrow, that they are not alone.
Yes, thank you very much, our resident. We are in a very devastated situation right now. Me and the mayor, we just came to see what the police are currently doing, and from the municipality perspective, we just want to offer our earliest condolences to the family, but we are moving to their house to see them physically so that we can share our heartfelt. But we also want to urge our people, please, residents of our town, do not cross the rivers, especially this time when the rain is raining. If you are not unsure of how deep is the area, please better refrain to do so, because we don't want to lose any life anymore. One life lost is many life lost. So we urge our residents for the entire Okahanja town to be cautioned this time around. The rain is continuing until next week. So please let us be vigilant, and we should not allow ourselves to cross the bridges and rivers that we never know about. So it is really, really dangerous for each and everybody that will do so. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
In our economic news segment, Namibia's grape export surged to $1.29 billion Namibian in the fourth quarter of 2024. We get into this on the other side of this. Getting into our economic news, Namibia's grape export soared to $1.29 billion in the final quarter of 2024, following 4 consecutive quarters of below-average performance, according to the Namibia Statistics Agency. The surge was driven by $815.4 million in export earnings recorded in December, with the majority of shipments destined for the Netherlands and the United Kingdom. In stark contrast, during the same period in 2023, Namibia's grape export earnings stood at only $7.7 million. No grape exports were recorded in the first quarter of 2024, while the second and third quarters saw minimal earnings of $6.2 million combined. The NSA reported that Namibia's strong grape exports also boosted the country's overall horticultural trade. Namibia exported horticultural products valued at $1.39 billion compared to $1.35 billion in the same quarter of 2023. This translated to an increase of 3.3%, the agency stated. Well, good news for Namibia. Let's take a look at our financial indicators. The Namibian dollar trades against the British pound at 23.54, against the euro at 19.73, against the US dollar at 18.20, to Namibian dollars and 51 cents gets you 1 Chinese yuan. On the commodities market, gold, copper, and platinum went down, while Brent crude oil went up, trading at 0.74%, going for $72 and 83 cents per barrel. We now take a look at our international news. Getting into our international news, Kenya has applied for a new lending program from the International Monetary Fund that will factor in unused money from the current program, which both sides walked away from last week. Finance Minister John Mbadi said earlier today. The East African nation and the IMF agreed last week to ditch the ninth and final review of the current program, which was set to expire next month, sending Kenya's dollar bonds lower. Badi said the decision to stop the review was down to time limitations and denied reports that Kenya had fallen out with the IMF over the government's failure to meet some of the targets set in the current program. The IMF has not commented on why the ninth review did not go ahead, because there is a carryover. There is some money that we have not utilized in the ninth review when we agreed that there's a possibility of a funded program. But he told Reuters there was roughly $800 million left on the table from the program that had started in April 2021. He said the whole program comprises $3.6 billion in an extended credit facility and extended fund facility, and $541.3 million in a resilience and sustainability facility, out of which $3.12 billion and $180.4 million respectively had been approved for disbursement last October. That concludes our international news. We now take a look at the weather predictions. The capital city can expect partly cloudy conditions with a minimum of 18 and a maximum of 28 degrees Celsius, while Katima Mulilo can expect a minimum of 19 and a maximum of 32 degrees Celsius, also with partly cloudy conditions. Ruacana can expect some showers with a minimum of 20 and a maximum of 29 degrees Celsius. Henties Bay can expect a minimum of 18 and a maximum of 21 degrees Celsius with partly cloudy conditions. Swakopmund can expect a minimum of 17 and a maximum of 20 degrees Celsius, also with partly cloudy conditions. Keetmanshoop can expect some showers with a minimum of 21 and a maximum of 30 degrees Celsius, while Aranos can expect a minimum of 23 and a maximum of 33 degrees Celsius with partly cloudy conditions. Lutherans can enjoy some sunny weather. We now take a look at the latest in the world of sports, courtesy of Sports Wrap.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, and starting off with soccer news first. Big soccer in Europe that was played over the weekend. It's the best 8 teams. There's only 4 teams left now. That's UEFA Nations League. That was a second leg, quarterfinals. The 4 teams going through 4 very strong teams: Spain, Portugal, France and Germany. What happened in the quarterfinals second leg was Spain beat the Netherlands by 5-4 on penalties for them to go through. It was 3-3 in the game that was played, 5-5 on aggregate, and Spain going through in that one. Then Portugal, they were too good for Denmark, beating them 5-2 for an aggregate win of 5-3. And then 2 close games. France beat Croatia by 5-4 also on penalties, and they had to come back from a 2-0 loss in Croatia. They won that game 2-0 in Paris, the second leg. That was 2-2 on aggregate penalties. It was France winning. And then Germany, they beat Italy, or it was a draw, the game that was played in Germany, 3-3, and it was enough for aggregate of 4-3 for Germany to go through to the next round, to the semi-finals. Also soccer news, that is World Cup qualifiers, that is FIFA World Cup qualifiers in Group F. It is Gabon with a good away win, beating Kenya by 2-1 in Nairobi. And then it's Eswatini, they're still battling. They drew 3-3 against Mauritius at home. And then it was earlier Bafana with a good win against Lesotho. That was 2-0. And of course, all the big game today is Namibia. They in action against Equatorial Guinea. That game is 10 minutes to 3 Namibian time today. On to athletics in international sports news. It is the Indoor World Championship, and it is in Nanjing in China. And a good result for South Africans, Prudence Segodiso, and she won gold medal. That's a great achievement. It was by a world leading time of 1 minute 58 seconds .40, and that is to win the world title in Nanjing in China. Then on to golf news. It was on the PGA, the men's PGA. It was the Valspar Championship. A big win for Victor Hovland. He's from Norway. He had challenging times the past few years, but he won the tournament, beating Justin Thomas into second place. The winning total was 11 under par for Victor Hovland. Then to close off today's international sports news, tennis news, the Miami Open continuing. It is Novak Djokovic that beat Camilo Hugo from Argentina. He beat him by 6-1 and 7-6. And a good one also for Sebastian Korda, the number 24 seed, beating Stefanos Tsitsipas 7-6 and 6-3. And then in the women's side of the draw, it was Mira Andreeva that's out of the tournament. She won the previous 2 tournaments on the WTA Tour. She's 11th seed. It's a round of 32 and she lost to Amanda Anisimova in 3 sets. And then a better result for number 2 seed Iga Swiatek. She beat Elise Mertens, so that was by 7-6 and 6-1, and that is to go through to the round of 16. So that is all Miami Open tennis in Florida. That's international sports news for today. Hope you have a great sport day, and we talk international sport again tomorrow. Goodbye.
And with that, we've come to the end of the broadcast. Do make sure you join Sunset News on Facebook, on all the NMH platforms on weekdays, as well as on our website, 1am2.com. Sunset News screens on DSTV channel 285 and GoTV channel 25 every weekday from 7:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. This has been Sunset News. Don't end your day without us.